So, I'm going to talk about why and what for is important to understand CBA or classroom based assessment as a precondition or prerequisite for TAL or teacher assessment literacy. And first of all, I want to clarify what TAL is. This refers to the, as I have in my notes, to the set of knowledge and skills that a teacher needs to conduct effective assessments in the classroom, and this includes designing, implementing, and discussing assessment strategies, the measurement tools, the evaluation criteria, and formatting and summative tests. Right. So in essence, it is a teacher's ability to plan and develop well-constructed assessment tasks, interpret assessment data, and use it to inform pedagogy and learning within a broader sociocultural context, right? And now talking about the CBA, the classroom-based assessment, this refers to the systematic study of assessing students within the classroom environment, right? And this encompasses both formative assessment used to adapt the instruction and help students improve, and the summative assessment, something that we actually know pretty well, that is using to assign grades, just putting numbers or words, whatever the politics says, it is a grade, right? So these two forms of assessment are interconnected through a well-articulated model of learning, and I'm going to try to explain the why and what for it is important to understand these two, um, in order to develop a good teacher assessment literacy by understanding the classroom-based assessment. So, understanding classroom-based assessment or CBA is crucial for developing teacher assessment literacy or TAL. Let me explain why with some key ideas that I have. So, first of all, and very important right now is the informed decision making. Teachers with a solid grasp of CBA can make informed decisions about student learning by understanding how to design an activity and implement effective assessments. Also, not just an activity, the assessment and the whole context of the process of the student, um, because we can tailor their teaching strategies, or our teaching strategies, sorry, to meet individual student needs, because this knowledge helps us to adjust instruction, to provide timely feedback, and address learning gaps that they may have during the, the whole process of the class. Another one is quality assessment practices. So, TAL involves using assessment practices that align with the educational goals, right? The goals that we have in policies, or the goals that we have in the college, the school, whatever, or just the classes as it is. So when teachers understand CBA, we can create assessments that accurately measures what students have learned, right? This ensures that the assessments are valid, reliable, and fair. Sometimes fair is kind of confusing, or maybe hard to get well. But without this understanding, we as teachers may inadvertently create assessments that misrepresent the students' abilities, or fail to capture the essential learning or the outcomes. So if we're not doing it right, we're not evaluating what the students are actually getting from the class, right? So the next one will be balancing formative and summative assessment. And for sure, CBA encompasses both formative, or the ongoing diagnostic, the thing that we're doing all the time during the class, and the summative, that is the end of the course, that the grades, the notes, well, the notes, the grades, the numbers, or just the final outcomes that are at the end of the semester, for example, and for this assessment, right? So we essentially need to strike a balance between these two types, the formative and the summative. That in this case, formative assessments guide the instruction, while the summative assessments evaluate the overall achievement that we may balance, right? So if we're doing a formative assessment, We can also do a summative assessment, but the formative assessment will be in everything, because the main idea for the students is not just to go through the course and that's it, but understanding and really getting a formation for the class from the class. Sorry. So while summative assessments evaluate this overall achievement, the good understanding and the deep understanding of CBA will help us to use both effectively, right? Next will be the student-centered approach, because teacher assessment literacy emphasizes a lot the student growth and development, and we teachers who understand CBA can focus on the individual progress rather than the merely assigned grades. Sorry. Uh, so we can use formative assessments to identify areas for improvement and adapt our classes or teaching strategies accordingly to what the students are getting, right? The student-centered approach basically enhances the learning outcomes because the main focus is that they understand. Now, and the last one, that will be equity and fairness, is that CBA promotes fairness and equity. Um, and we teachers that comprehend CBA, we can design assignments that accommodate diverse student backgrounds, their learning styles, their abilities, their skills, etc. We may try, or we have to avoid some bias and ensure that assessments do not disadvantage disadvantage any group, any students. May be difficult, but we may try to avoid that. With this understanding, we can contribute to a more inclusive and supporting classroom environment by getting all the information right, trying to have the validity and the information the more accurate possible to give the students a good understanding and a good comprehension. So, in summary, a strong foundation in CBA can empower us as teachers to create meaningful assessments, to personalize our instructions, to foster the student growth, because that's the main idea, and it is an essential component of an effective teacher, and to actually contribute significantly to teacher assessment literacy and to the development of our students. That's it.